Hello guys, welcome to today's tutorial where we are making an Excel template that will help us to rename files automatically. This is part 2. If you have not watched part 1, click on the link that is up here. Use these shortcuts to open VBA editor. We insert a new module and we start with the first button, that is get file names. So our macro will be named the same. We define some variables, sh, which shall be our worksheet, and we set sh as this workbook sheet 1. Then we need a new file system object that we shall define as FSO. We shall have FSO as our new file system object. And before we continue, we need to go to Tools, References, to add a new reference, that is Microsoft Scripting Runtime. Enable it and we continue. We have FO as a folder. And F as a file. We need also to define a file dialog. We can simply call it folder picker. And also my folder as a string. Folder picker will be equal to application dot file dialog in bracket and also file dialog folder picker. And with the folder picker, the title will be select folder. Allow mode select, we put false. And if dot show is less or greater than -1, then we exit. That simply means if you press cancel button. My folder will be the selected item. And we add a slash because that is a path. It is a path, so we add a slash at the end and we end with that path that will be selected above. We put it in reg E1. So reg E1 will be my folder. And our folder, we use file system object to open our folder. We use file system object to get into our folder. And in the folder there are files, so from the last empty row, we list the file names. We look for the last available row in column A for us to start listing the files. So sh.reg, that is column A, and the last row, that the value of that will be our first file name. Then we go to the next file name all the way, and once it is done, or once it is completed, we indicate we have a message box done. Now let us assign that macro to our first button, that is get file names, and we see whether it will work. An error. The name folder picker have made a mistake. Okay. hopefully it will work now. And another mistake. Rust row. I wrote rust row. Okay. So now hopefully it will work. It is okay. It is working well. From there, we go to the second button, that is rename files. Sub rename files. The variables that we used in the first macro, we are going to use the same in this one. We have them there. Then we add some few. We shall have a new name. Then another variable is, or rather we set our folder as file system object, forgetting folder, and that folder is the one that is indicated in E1, or rather using the path that is E1. Close the bracket. For each file in the folder, and on error resume next. For each file, we shall put a new name, which we shall get by using a VLOOKUP function. A VLOOKUP function, and the new name is in the fourth column. So VLOOKUP function, we search for the new name that corresponds to the name that is already in the file. So that file name will be renamed to the new file, to the new name. Then we say next. So after renaming the first one, we move to the next one. And once all are completed, we have a message box. Files renamed successfully. Let's see whether it works. We assign that macro to our second button. Okay. Let's get the file names. Okay, done. Then let's put our new name. Put our new names to the files. This is our folder that we want to use to. This is the folder that contains the files that we want to rename. So we click rename, and they have been renamed successfully. So now we can move to the third button to clear content. So here we need to clear content in in column A from A2 up to the last row. Rows dot count dot end Excel app dot row plus one dot clear content. Then reg C. So we just change this one to C. We change to C. That is column 3. Then we have reg E1. E1 dot clear content. Yeah. After that, we see that content cleared successfully. See, assign macro, clear content, and it is working quite well. Someone had asked if we can use this tool to rename our file to Roman characters. And let's see, we put some Roman characters here. And we rename, and it is working. It has renamed successfully. Well, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, even to comment.